Hi guys, it's Emily from Novelle Novels and welcome to today's video. This is the Victorian Literature Tag. Now, I saw it on Jennifer Brooks' channel, I'll link it below, and I thought, wow, this is a perfect video to do this month for Victober. How are you all doing on Victober? How many of you are joining in? I, for one, am loving it. Now, this tag might be very different next year if I do it because I'm still relatively new to Victorian books. And some books that I thought were Victorian aren't. So I've learnt a lot this month. And also, I plan to read a lot more Victorian literature. So, like I said, the answers will change next year. But, shall we go with the prompts? Here we go. Prompt number 1. First piece of Victorian literature you've read. Now, I had a discussion with Charlie because I'm not sure on this one. I think I read Alice in Wonderland as a child. I know for a fact she did. So I'm pretty sure that was my first one. But I'm not 100%. It might well be my next answer to my next prompt. I love Alice in Wonderland. I love watching the film of it, the cartoon film. I love the book. I'm hoping to read it towards the end of this month for Victober as an extra book, as I've seen that a few other channels are doing it. So I wanted to do this, to read it. And I love it. I love Alice in Wonderland. I love the way she goes into the world. I love the Mad Hatter. I can't believe it's Victorian. It's so beautiful, you know. You feel like you can relate to it. Lewis Carroll is absolutely amazing. And you guys knew I loved the other retellings of it. So, should we get on with the next answer? I think that was my first one. And I know for a fact that that's certainly I read as a child. So, the number 2, your favourite Victorian book. Now, this is an obvious one. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you my copy. Alice in Wonderland. So, this is my favourite book ever. This is actually one of my favourite books in the world. This is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Now, you guys know I'm named after Emily Bronte, and I love Wuthering Heights. It is probably, apart from the Harry Potter books, it's actually the book I've read the most times. I've read it so many times, but do you know what? I'm probably going to reread it again next year because I love it. Getting more into Victorian books, I may well enjoy it a lot more next year. Now, I read this at the start of the year as a buddy read with Charlie and Nikki. They weren't 100%. I know Nikki was a bit like on it, but I love it. I love Emily Bronte. I love the characters on this. Yes, it's gothic. Yes, it's written, but oh my goodness, the writing is beautiful. The characters are absolutely amazing, and even though it's her only work, to me, this is one of the best books ever. Let alone the best Victorian book. I love it. As you can tell, you'll well tell some answers to the next few questions. I love the Brontes. But the next one is favourite Victorian author. Now, I could go with Emily Bronte because, like I said, that is my favourite book. But do you know who my new one that's rapidly going up there with the Brontes? That's Elizabeth Gaskell. I absolutely nearly touched another book that I'm going to be using. But I absolutely have loved her work. I've read 2 of her books so far, and they are the answers to the other prompts, so I won't tell you what they are. But, oh my goodness, I have fallen in love with her thanks to Victober. I have been watching Kate Howe from Kate Howe's channel, another one I will link below. She has raved about Elizabeth Gaskell, and I know a few other people really like her. But me, for one, Victober has introduced me to her work, and she is rapidly going up there with the Brontes. So I'd like to add her as my other answers to that prompt, because, like I said, her writing is gorgeous. Her driving is amazing. The setting is different to what I've read before, but she is beautiful, and I certainly plan to read all of her books. I'm looking to look for them all now. Next one is favourite Victorian couple. Now, I had a bit of fun with this answer because I have lost my copy of Jane Eyre. And the answer to this prompt is Jane Eyre and I think Edward Rochester. That couple is absolutely amazing. I love the feist in Jane Eyre. Charlotte Bronte has written it so beautifully, and I absolutely love that. So Jane Eyre was actually a very close second to Wuthering Heights because I have loved it, and I love it, and I love the character. I love the romance there. I love the fact that Jane Eyre, she stands up for herself. She stays strong. But she loves him, and she really stays true to him right to the end. Even though he's a little bit of a rat bag at times, she still stays true to him, and she really loves him. So, it's so beautiful. Next one is favourite Victorian villain. There is only one answer to that. That's Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights. He is such a baddie, and it's hard because he starts off as such a lovely boy. For those of you that if you've not read Wuthering Heights, don't listen to the rest of this bit for the next minute or so, because I will give spoilers. But Heathcliff starts off as such a lovely guy, a lovely boy when he joins their household, and the way he turns out to be such an absolute beep. He turns out to be so horrible. But because you understand, when you've read the whole book, you understand what made him like that. And it was his love of Cathy and that true love, that passion that never died. So that what turned him into a villain. But to me, you understand that villain. So I loved him. I really, really did. So your favourite, next one, number 6 is your favourite Victorian book where someone dies of consumption. Now, I hope that this is correct, but I know there was quite a few characters in this that did die, and I believe it probably was from consumption. But please correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong. But I had to include this book anyway. I love Mary Barton. I read this for Victober. I read it at the start of the month, and OMG, I loved it. But some of the characters died. I think the actual Mary Barton Senior dies at the very start, and I probably think it probably was from consumption, the way it was described. But I love this book, and when Mary Barton's mum died, it literally broke me. And although it turned into a very, very brilliant book with loads of twists and turns, that broke me at the start. So I think that was going to be my answer for that. The next one is longest Victorian book you've ever read. Now, I'm currently reading, so by the time this goes out, I should hopefully have finished it. Great Expectations. All of Dickens' works are long. This to me is nearly 500, about 450. No, I'm going to literally look at it as I'm looking. My copy is 480 pages, and it's a meaty, chunky book. As of filming this, I only started it yesterday. When I stop filming, I'm going to read a lot more of it. But it's long, it's chunky, it scared me. I have read this because of Tom Reads Things. He said that this is a book that he likes. I know that when I did my top 10, like some of the books I wanted to try, this one actually I think this one won it. So I'm going to read this, and this is my challenge. And like I said, hopefully by the time this has gone out, I've read it. But it's chunky. I've got a lot more of Charles Dickens' works that I'm going to be reading in the coming months. I'm going to be reading Oliver Twist in December, so that's a sneaky peek for you all. But I really want to read more of Charles Dickens' work, but like I said, they scare me because of the length. Long books have always scared me. When I read Anna Karenina, that scared the bejeebers out of me. I know that's not Victorian, but you know. So long books scare me. The long Victorian books are even more scary because of the writing and the way the writing is in it. So Charles Dickens does scare me, but I'm going to read it. So although this is the first long book, I've got Hard Times upstairs I plan to read, and Oliver Twist, and Martin Chuzzlewit. So I've got quite a few other long books to read. What challenges am I setting myself, I wonder? So the next one is a Victorian book you feel is underrated. Now, I don't have a copy of this right now because it was a library book, but Lois the Witch, which was written by Elizabeth Gaskell. It's one of her shorter books. I believe it's a book, not a novella or anything, but it's short, it's sweet, but no one could have told me how good it was. It was about a girl that goes over to Salem. She's an innocent girl, she's sweet, and because they're so into like tormenting witches and stuff like that, it was just really sad what the kind of things that you see in that book. But again, it's so well written. It was actually my first Elizabeth Gaskell book. I read that actually before Mary Barton, and that was what made me fall in love with her really at the start. So yes, if you've not checked out Lois the Witch by Mary Barton, check it out. It's brilliant. It's less than 200 pages, but it's a beautifully, beautifully written book, and I loved it. So the next one is most beautiful Victorian classic you have. Now, I picked this up at a library book, but can you see it's Alice in Wonderland? And look at the gorgeous copy on that. I think that's beautiful. Alice has got her arms out, her dress in this, her hair, the writing on this Wordsworth Classics, beautiful. I really, really love that. I've got a few of their Wordsworth Classics children's books, and they are absolutely beautiful. Don't you love that? I think that's gorgeous. And even the back, look at it. You can see, I know it's £1 it cost me, but look at that. Even the back, the colours and everything, it's so beautiful. So that's my answer to that one. Now the next one is 3 unread Victorian books you want to try. Now, as you can well tell, there is a lot of Victorian books I'm looking forward to trying Victober, what have you done to me? You've set me off with a big challenge of loads of books to read. But to me, these three are the top three that I'm looking forward to. First one is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Now, Charlie has said to me to stop buying them all from charity shops and wait for my birthday because I might get some decent copies of them. Because, you know, we all want, like, beautiful... I want to see some of, like, the gorgeous copies that you all guys have. I would love to get a gorgeous copy of a classic. So yes, hints out there for Christmas for next year. Just next year, because I think that's too far. Christmas is too soon. But yeah, I'd love to get a beautiful copy of North and South. So that's my Elizabeth Gaskell one that I'm desperate to try. I've got The Professor by Charlotte Bronte. That's actually up on my shelves upstairs. If I get time, I'm going to read it this month, but I think I'm going to try and put it up a little bit. I'll probably try and read it this year, but yeah, I really want to read that. Can't wait to read that. I love Charlotte Bronte. Like I said, Jane Eyre was absolutely incredible, and I have got that, and I've got another Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte, book that I want to read, but that one, I think, to me, that's the one that stands out. And the last one is Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. Now, I saw on another channel that I've been watching, I can't remember which one, about Victober, but they said that Agnes Grey is basically almost like an biographical, sorry, I can't say that word, writing by Anne Bronte, because it's basically where she becomes a governess and things. So it's a lot about what Anne Bronte actually goes through. Now, Anne Bronte is the only Bronte sister that I've not tried. I've just ordered 2 of her books. So I've ordered that and The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. But to me, Agnes Grey is actually the one I will want to read first, because it sounds absolutely beautiful. Now, if any of you have seen this video and in those top 3 books that I've said about you want to buddy read, let me know. And when I get hold of North and South, or when I want to read the other ones, I would love to buddy read them with someone else. I think I would like to try buddy reading a classic, one of these Victorian classics with someone, because I think it would really educate me a bit more, and I would love to know from some of you more experienced Victober people how to read them. Now, I've got the chance of tagging people. I don't know many people who are going to fit this in or would like it, so I'm going to tag 2 people that I know like Victorian books, and I have not seen them do this video. So I would love it if they did it. Even if you don't do it in Victober, I think you 2 would be perfect for doing it. First one is Charles Heathcote. Charlie, you're absolutely lovely, and I think this one would be a perfect you video to watch. And just getting you back for some of the tags you've done for me. And the next one is Tom from Tom Reads Things. He is lovely. Love you, Tom. You know I do, darling. You're an absolutely lovely guy, and I think you would do this amazingly. And the last one is Bookish Shenanigans. Now, I don't know if she's subscribed to my channel, but I know I'm going to be linking her, and I know that I'm going to be tagging her in this, because I think she would do this absolutely beautifully. And if you get the time and if you watch this, please do it. But I hope she checks out my channels, guys. If any of you know her, please let her know that I've tagged her in this, because I think she would do it beautifully. Anyway, guys, I hope you've all enjoyed this. I will link the channels that I've spoken about below, and I look forward to seeing what you all do with it. Have a great Victober, and thank you so much, all of the hosts of Victober. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I have absolutely loved every second of doing it. So thank you. Thank you all. Take care. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And if you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Take care, everyone, and thank you for Victober. Bye-bye.